All right, happy Saturday, Hail Stalkers. It is 12 p.m. here for our Hail Trace Daily Hail Forecast. I'm lead meteorologist John Choquette, and we have a bunch to talk about today. I'm not going to talk about too much about it yesterday. I had to rush, obviously. I'm here at the office doing it from the Live Weather Center because we have that chance for better hail today than other risks. So I figured I'd come to the office. That kind of cut back on going over storms from yesterday. Go to your notification options. Make sure those notifications are turned on. We will, if anything does happen in any large areas, I promise we will go live today. I'll make sure of that. And we will make sure you have those notifications sent out to you. As long as you have them turned on either on your phone, your computer, or on your email. Get up a 1, 2, all three of those, whatever combination you want, and where you want to be notified for, whether it's just, say, Kansas City, for example, or the whole state of Kansas and Missouri, or the whole country. You can customize it to your own personal needs. Here's your forecast for today. If you guys tuned in yesterday, you probably saw an idea of what we were kind of looking at. And surprisingly, things are looking a little bit better in northern Oklahoma. Unfortunately, probably a little too far north of Oklahoma City. But nonetheless, there's a chance for some storms, especially here in the purple area. That's where your best hail chances are going to be. I know a lot of you guys in Kansas City are saying, hey, it's really cloudy right now. I'll show you guys the clouds are working their way out. I think this is going to be one of those just-in-time situations where we get that moisture, that instability just in the nick of time for some storms to happen. So we're at 20%, and again, the main reason why I'm only at 20% and not any higher in the Kansas City area is the fact that the cloudiness is just barely getting out here just in time. There is that chance that maybe it might be just the tiniest bit too stable for storms to happen, hence why 20% chance. But if storms do happen, they will possibly be pretty potent with hail up to 3 inches in diameter. That extends down towards Topeka, same deal. Might be a little bit better chance, I'd say 20% Kansas City, 25% Topeka. All the numbers in there, it gets a little convoluted. So have that 20, 25, I'd say for Topeka. It's at 10% down the line towards Wichita. Storms will be more isolated, and I think what's going to happen, the best storms in Oklahoma, southern Kansas, northern Oklahoma, it's going to be pretty isolated. There's an outflow boundary hanging out by Ponca City right now. If we had to do Ponca City for a hail percentage chance, it wouldn't be 5, it'd probably be more like 25%. Because storms are going to fire probably right around there. If I was storm chasing today, that's probably where I'd head out towards Ponca City. And some isolated storms are going to form here, so I have 10% for Wichita, and for Oklahoma City, it'd have to be a Hail Mary pass. Something crazy would have to happen. You only have 5% chance of seeing any sort of large hail today, like significant hail. Now the chance of when a squall line moves through later on this evening, there's pockets of quarter-size hail here and there. That might be a little bit higher, but in terms of very large hail, I think your chances are pretty low. Further down south, along the dry line here into Texas, Lubbock, for example, your 5% chance. I think storms like the past few days may form practically on top of you. And maybe even down towards Abilene as well, another 5% chance there. Hail could be pretty big. Again, ice storms are pretty isolated, so it's going to be kind of hard to get those locations hit. Further to the east, St. Louis, I have a 2%. There's some storms actually going on right now in southern Missouri, and really your best shot at getting any hail will be if those storms shot something out. And further north, Omaha, if you've been watching the past few days, we'd had the risk either in Omaha or in Kansas City. It looks like the trend has been a little further south towards Kansas City. If you're in Omaha right now, it's in the 50s and raining, and you're probably like, crap, it's not going to hail. And that is the case. There's a very, very, very low chance you'll see any hail today. I have you in the risk just to kind of cover ourselves in the event that something might happen, but it's very unlikely. The best chance is going to be getting Kansas City area, Topeka area, that northeastern section of Kansas. All right. And yeah, so that's our risk for today. I'll show you the models. I'll show you the current conditions as well in just a moment. We also have that and also storms are going to start after 3 o'clock today. Here's our look at for tomorrow. I'm only looking into tomorrow, and after that, again, I kind of put these two forecasts together real quick, and I didn't talk about anything else after that. For those of you wondering, in Colorado, we did make a storm yesterday. There's been some different reports. It kind of sounds like there was some soft hail, unfortunately, but nonetheless, in Colorado Springs, it's a 3-star map. We star the maps before we get any feedback, obviously. We just kind of get them out there. We see the house count. We see how big the hail supposedly was, and that is what we do. We go ahead and we put that ranking in there. So it was a 3-star map because it hit so many houses, and we had some reports, I had some confirmation of close to golf ball size hail. And unfortunately, we don't know if it's soft or hard when that happens, or when it gets pushed out. You guys go and you give us that feedback if it's soft or hard. And we've been hearing more about soft hail versus hard hail in the Colorado Springs area. So nonetheless, you could probably use that as a date for old damage. But that is the coverage of Colorado. And then there's nothing else for the Front Range today or tomorrow as well. Tomorrow's forecast, I think St. Louis, the southern half of Illinois, so south of Chicago, places like Springfield, Peoria, what's that, Champaign, I want to say is the name of that town. All those towns are going to be at the better chance. Indianapolis, and then over by Cincinnati, some isolated storms are most likely going to form later on in the afternoon tomorrow, and they'll be isolated in nature. It might only be like 5 or 6 storms total in this entire area, so it's really going to come down to where they hit. I like it, Jack's comment there. Give the hail some Viagra. We do need that. It needs to be a little harder. I know you guys we're just as frustrated as you guys can be when you get a storm and then it turns out the hail is slush balls. But that's the weather for you. Anyway, we're gonna jump over. We're gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys the models, and we can just look at what we're expecting for today. Let's start. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys just current conditions at the moment here, and oh crap, that's right. I don't have satellite on here. Well, either way. You can see you have these storms off to the east and southern Missouri. These storms are, again, they're still just kind of ongoing. They're rocking. They're just moving along here. This will eventually probably die out once we get down towards the Mississippi River. This stuff will eventually kind of kill any hail chances there were. They're starting to die. That's moving off. And if this shoots off something, maybe you can get that outside chance for St. Louis, but I really am not expecting much. Overall, if I had the satellite up on this thing, I got to update GeoEarth on this particular computer. You can see the cloud shield is currently pushing out. I mean, you can tell from the temperature difference. We have the 70s in Topeka, and then in the 60s in Kansas City. So it's moving out. Again, it'll be really hard. It's challenging to see if it's actually going to pull off and actually have some good storms or not. I know you guys think I'm kind of a curse at this point because of the way this year has been going. So maybe if I say the chances of them getting hit are less than what we're expecting, they might actually get hit. Use some reverse psychology on there for you guys. But the best risk, again, is going to be down in here, right around the Wichita area, down by Enid. I think Enid's probably another good spot in Oklahoma. I know, again, Oklahoma roofers, you guys will probably take anywhere at this point if any storms could happen. I mean, I think a lot of you guys will just take pretty much anywhere, population with some good hail at this point. So that's what we're looking at currently, and then I'll pop over to the models here. All right, let me just do that real quick. And we will take a look at what the most recent HRRR had. Is the next one out yet? Oh, it's not out far enough. So we'll look at the 15Z run of the high resolution rapid refresh model. If I just move out of the way, it shows all this preset moving out. And then about this afternoon, around 3, 4 o'clock, you see storms forming in Oklahoma. Here's Oklahoma County. So it's going to be a close call for Oklahoma City. I think we'll see some pretty big angry clouds off to the north if you live in Oklahoma City or Edmond. But I think if you're in Enid, you got the better chance of seeing some Enid, Ponca City, that parts of northern Oklahoma. See some storms also forming here across northeastern Kansas. And we have one storm up here. This has been kind of meandering on where it ends up showing it forms. So we'll have to see if storms can actually make it to Kansas City today. And again, Wichita, your storms might be just here south. So we might be threading some needles today with storms going in between where people might be. But nonetheless, we'll be here. We'll be doing any coverage if anything happens in Kansas City, Topeka, Oklahoma City, and the off chance that happens, or even Wichita. We'll be here doing any sort of live coverage. I think I'll probably go back home after this, but if storms surprise us, I'll be doing live broadcasting from home, and if I have enough time to drive from Oklahoma City to Edmond, I will be here to do live continuing coverage. And of course, Heather's on call, she's doing mapping. Frank, I know, is available today, so we're pretty much ready to go for any kind of events that happen today. And looking forward to tomorrow. I'll switch over to the Midwest, do this model so we can get beyond just today. Move over here, and we can move on to tomorrow, and you can see some storms forming. This will be a pretty potent storm in Ohio, and some storms also in Missouri as well going into tomorrow. So that's, again, some isolated storms for tomorrow. I'll be watching that. Tomorrow could be one of those sleeper days where you only get 1 or 2 storms, maybe 50 hail reports in the day, but you get 50 just because it all hit one place, one city. Okay. Let's, I'm going to switch off this, switch back to the look ahead map, and I'll answer any questions anybody has been sending in while I have been talking. Let's see here. I know you guys have been a little busy in the comment section. All right. Let's talk about 2019 hail. All right. All right. Did Bill Cosby slip Mother Nature? That's a good one, Jay. All right. It doesn't seem like you guys have too many questions, just kind of comments in there. So I'm going to wrap this up. Again, okay, what about next week? When is it supposed to be warmer up north? Where, Gingy Hills, where up north are you? Because that is a big question. If you're in northern Minnesota, it might be a while. But if up north to you is Omaha, it'll warm up quite a bit next week. Will Illinois see anything in the next week? Asked Tony. I think Illinois, you might see some stuff tomorrow, depending on where in Illinois you're talking about. If you're talking about the Chicagoland area, probably not going to be tomorrow. If you're talking about places south of Chicagoland, then definitely tomorrow. Minnesota, you guys will probably warm up probably some point next week. They got really strong. Summer Lake Ridge is going to build in and really take over next week. So, any chance in hell for Dallas this next week? Pretty unlikely. Gotta say, I am not very confident that there's going to be much in the way of any hail in Dallas. You need some sort of Hail Mary miracle to happen for storms that happen in the Dallas area in the next week or so. All right, you see blue skies in Kansas City around Farrell. That is good, good. Clearing, it's again, it's right around noon right now, so you get that clearing in there. You get quite a few hours of more instability coming in. That is what you want for storms to happen. Grove, Oklahoma, it's possible. I think most of the storms are going to be pretty far north. If in eastern Oklahoma, places like Bartlesville maybe could see a storm. Maybe even further up north and east, like in the Miami area of Oklahoma. Those areas I think could see some storms today. If I had to put my best shot at seeing some big hail, it'd be areas around there, Enid, Ponca City, etc. Okay, so make sure you follow us on Facebook, especially if you're watching us on YouTube and or on our app or whatnot. If you still have Facebook, if you don't have Facebook, never mind this. But hit follow, hit see first. All of our posts do go to the top of your news feed, so you can see any live videos we do, especially when we do live continuing coverage, because that is not scheduled every day at noon. And of course, if you miss our live forecast, you can go on our Facebook and you can watch the replay of the previous day's forecast pretty easily on our Facebook. All that, hit see first, and that way, even if you miss our notification, you won't miss our forecast when you go on to Facebook. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, etc., anything you want to know about hail trace, you want hail reports, you want to ask about the forecast, ask about previous day's maps, give us a call at the number on the screen, email with the email on the screen, or go on hailtrace.com and you hit intercom. It's in the lower right hand corner screen, a little blue circle with a speech bubble. Click on that, chat comes up, and you can send messages out to the entire staff, and we'll respond to those, especially on weekends like today where I'm the only one at the office right now, or after hours. We can usually respond to them pretty quick. And yes, yeah, I know Grove is about 10 miles to south. I think that 10 miles might make a huge difference. I think if it's going to be probably closer to like Commerce and oh god, what's the name of that town that's a ghost town now? Pitcher, I want to say. Yeah, around that area. Like, it would be riding the border of Oklahoma and Kansas. Again, this is assuming storms happen there. So, Grove, it's possible, but I think you got to be like north of I-44. Yeah, it's I-44 for any good storms to be possible in northeastern Oklahoma today. I'm really splitting hairs here on that one. So, anyway, going to wrap this up, guys. Again, we'll be back later today if any storms warrant me being able to go live. So again, if Topeka, Kansas City, Oklahoma City, and the off chance all get hit, or Wichita, any of them get hit, I will come on live and do continuing coverage. I know I didn't do any coverage yesterday in Colorado Springs. I apologize for that. I was the one mapping the storm, so I was kind of in the zone, and that kind of happens sometimes. Anyway, we'll be doing live coverage again if anything happens today, and if not, I'll see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. with our daily hail forecast, whether it is here or it is at my house. So hope you have a great rest of your Saturday, guys. If I don't see you, do those hail dances, cross those fingers, and hope we do see me later on today, because that means we'll be doing some live coverage of a big storm. We need another 5-star map. We've only had 2 so far this year, and they've been fairly underwhelming in terms of our usual 5-star map status. So hopefully today will be the day, guys. I'll talk to you guys again later.